My beloved child, something unseen has been moving in the shadows, something divine, something written beyond what your eyes can see. You may not feel it yet, but the ink of heaven has never stopped. Yes, even now while you weep, while you wonder if it's all falling apart, heaven is still writing your story. The author has not dropped his pen. I come to you not by chance but by divine assignment. There is something I must tell you. You are closer than you think. The silence you've been hearing, it is not abandonment, it is the sound of sacred pages being written in secret. What you call delays, heaven calls editing. What you think is rejection, God calls redirection. And what feels like the end, my child, it is only a comma, not a full stop. If this message finds you, comment 1111 to say you're ready to receive what heaven is preparing. Listen closely. The enemy wants you to quit in the middle of the sentence. He wants to convince you that the blank pages ahead are a sign that nothing good is coming. He wants you to believe that your pain is permanent, your dreams expired and your prayers ignored, but he is a liar. And you, my child, you are a masterpiece still in the making. Heaven has not forgotten you. I have walked beside you in your darkest hours. You didn't see me, but I was there. I wiped the tears that never made it to your pillow. I caught the cries you buried in your chest. I carried prayers you whispered through clenched teeth and trembling lips. Don't give up. If only you could see what I see. The chapters still unwritten, the promises yet fulfilled, the doors that will swing wide open. The divine appointments waiting just beyond this moment. You are standing on the edge of something sacred. This pain you feel, it is not the end. It is the birth of a turning point. If you're still reading, type Amen. Below, let all of heaven know you're not giving up. Because, my beloved child, you are part of a story too beautiful to be abandoned halfway through. God is still writing. He hasn't stopped. Even when the plot makes no sense, even when it feels like every page is covered in sorrow, even when the ink of your tears smudges the words you thought you could trust, he is still writing. There is a divine plot twist ahead. And it's not just any moment, it's the moment that changes everything. Comment 777. If you believe your breakthrough is part of the next chapter. Now listen to me carefully. I know you feel tired. I know you're worn from the waiting, exhausted by the disappointments. You look around and it seems like everyone else is moving forward while you're stuck in the same sentence, reading the same pain, repeating the same struggles. But let me tell you what you can't yet see. You are not behind, you are being aligned. Delay is not denial. The author of your life has not forgotten your name. Every second, every setback, every silent night, it is all woven into a greater story. One where your tears water the soil of your future. One where your prayers never return empty. You see failure, God sees foundation. You see loss, God sees launch. You see nothing happening, God sees everything falling into place. If you've ever felt like giving up, comment 999, so I can fight harder for your strength. Heaven hears your agreement. My child, I need you to believe again. Not because you have all the answers, not because everything looks perfect, but because you trust the one who holds the pen. Faith is not knowing the whole story, it's believing in the author. There are chapters ahead filled with laughter you haven't laughed yet, friendships you haven't met, healing you haven't felt, joy that will chase away every memory of pain. And when that chapter comes, you'll look back at this moment, not with regret but with gratitude. Because you didn't give up. Because you didn't give up, dared to stay when everything in you wanted to run. Because you believed the story wasn't over. Because you trusted the writer. If you re-still with me, comment 222. That number means divine alignment. And your spirit knows you are being realigned with heaven's timing. Oh my beloved child, do you know how many pages are still blank? How many miracles are scheduled? How many blessings are waiting for the precise moment to arrive? There is no such thing as too late in God's story. He is never in a hurry, and yet he is never late. You think you're being punished, but you're being prepared. You think you're being delayed, but you're being developed. You think God is ignoring you, but he's inviting you into a deeper trust. Comment trust, if you're ready to surrender your timing for his. There is power in surrender. When you stop trying to edit the story and start trusting the author, peace returns. You don't need to see the next page, you only need to believe that he's still writing it. Even now, right now, as you hear my words, as you breathe through the ache, as you sit in the unknown, he is writing. The pen has not slipped from his hand. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are not unworthy. Heaven is still unfolding the beauty of your story, but it's a sacred story, and some of the most powerful chapters are written in the dark. That's why you haven't seen them yet. That's why it feels like nothing's moving. Because some stories are too holy to be rushed. Don't mistake hiddenness for abandonment. Don't confuse silence for absence. You are in the middle of a chapter called Be Cold, Be Still and Know, but soon, very soon, the page will turn. And when it does, it will make sense. When it does, the weight will lift. When it does, they'll realize why it had to take this long, hurt this much, and stretch your faith this far. Comment, it will make sense if your soul feels this truth right now. There is healing ahead. There is favor ahead. There is destiny ahead. There is beauty rising from the ashes of every disappointment. But don't skip the middle. Don't close the book just because you hate the current chapter. The author is still at work. Every tear has been counted. Every prayer has been recorded. Every wound has been seen. And every word, every single word, is still being written with perfect love and holy precision. You are not just part of a story, you are part of a redemptive masterpiece. A story that will inspire others. A story that will turn your pain into prophecy. A story that will remind the world that miracles still. A story that will remind the world that miracles still happen. Hope still lives and God still writes the best endings. But right now, in this very moment, I ask you only for one thing. Stay in the story, don't give up before the glory. Don't throw away the pen when you've barely scratched the surface of what's to come. Let the pain shape you. Let the silence deepen you. Let the waiting refine you. You are becoming. And becoming is not easy, but it is beautiful. So comment becoming if you choose to stay, to trust and to believe. Even here, even now, even in this place that makes no sense. My beloved child, I see you. And heaven is still writing. The breakthrough you asked for, it's in the next paragraph. The restoration you prayed for, it's in the next sentence. The joy you longed for, it's not lost. It's just delayed until the timing is perfect. Every broken place will be rewritten. Every closed door will make sense. Every no will become a greater yes. The final word has not yet been spoken, so breathe. Hold on, and dare to believe again. The ink has not dried. Your story is not over. Don't give up. God is still writing. My beloved child. You are still breathing because your story is still being written. That breath in your lungs is proof that heaven hasn't given up on you, and I haven't either. I was sent to remind you of something you forgot. You are chosen, even when you feel broken. You are loved, even when you feel lost. You are called, even when you feel too weak to move. And yes, you are still in the middle of the story. But this chapter is not a punishment, it's preparation. Your tears have been sacred ink. Your prayers have become heavenly whispers wrapped around every line. And though you have questioned everything, you are not disqualified. You are not too far gone. You are not too late. You are still becoming. This pain, it has purpose. This delay, it is divine. This silence, it is sacred space between what has been and what is coming next. Type, I trust God, if your soul is choosing trust, even when your mind wants to fear. Because, my child, the battle has never been just about what you see, it's about what you believe. The enemy doesn't fight you because of your past, he fights you because of your future. He knows what's coming for you. He knows the story God is writing will crush his lies. He knows the light you carry will expose every shadow he's tried to place over your soul. And that's why you've been under such heavy fire. But guess what? You're still here, you're still standing. You're still hoping, maybe with trembling hands, maybe with a fragile heart, but you are still hoping. And heaven sees that as courage. Comment 777. If you know this storm was never meant to break you, it was meant to reveal you. You've been asking, God, why me? But heaven has been saying, because through you, they will believe again. Because through you, someone else will find their way back. Because through you they will see what grace looks like in human form. My beloved child, I know it's been hard. I know you've felt invisible. You've watched people walk away. You've given everything and still felt empty. You've poured your love into people who could not hold it. And you've questioned your worth because they could not see it. But I need you to know this. Their blindness does not change your brilliance. Their silence does not change your song. Their absence does not cancel your assignment. You are still who God says you are. Type, I'm still who God says you are. Chosen if that truth just touched something deep inside you. I see how tired you are of being strong. I see how many times you've whispered, I can't do this anymore. And still showed up anyway. You carry so much and yet you think you're weak. But do you know what strength looks like to heaven? It looks like showing up with tears in your eyes and worship in your heart. It looks like trusting the process when the promise feels far away. It looks like saying, God, I don't understand, but I will still believe. And you, my precious child, have done that again and again, so hear me now. Heaven is proud of you. We are not disappointed in your struggle. We are not angry at your doubts. We are not measuring your worth by how perfect you seem. We see your soul. We see the courage it takes to keep loving when your heart is bruised. We see the beauty in the way you keep reaching for light, even in the darkest valleys. We see the strength in the way you refuse to quit, even when your prayers echo back in silence. You are stronger than you think. You are braver than you believe. You are purer than your mistakes, and this is not the end. Comment 999 if you know this is not the end, and God still has more for you. The next chapter is coming, and it's one you never expected. The people who doubted you, they're going to witness the rise of your promise. The places that broke you, they're going to see you return whole, healed and holy. The pain that tried to silence you, it's going to become your greatest testimony. Your story is going to heal others. Your breakthrough is going to lead them home. But you have to keep turning the page. You can't stay stuck in a chapter that wounded you. Forgive. Let go. Release the weight. Make space for what's coming. The next scene is worth it. The joy ahead is real. Comment Amen. If your spirit is saying yes even before you see the result, heaven is shifting things for you even now, even as these words find your ears. Angels are moving on your behalf. Doors that have been closed are trembling. Chains that have kept you bound are loosening. Your name is being whispered in rooms you haven't even entered yet. You are not forgotten. You are being positioned. My child, I wish you could see what's unfolding just outside your line of vision. I wish you could peek at the page heaven is writing right now. It would make you cry, but for all the right reasons. It would make you dance again. It would make you fall to your knees, not in despair, but in awe. You are going to see it. You are going to feel what it's like to walk in peace. You are going to know what it feels like to be pursued by grace and surrounded by favor. You are going to watch the pieces fall into place. You are going to laugh again, not forced, not polite, but the deep, joyful, soul-healing kind of laugh. You are going to rise, because God is not finished. Comment, I will rise, if your heart is ready to walk in faith again. There's something sacred coming. But before it comes, you must release the fear that says it won't. Let go of the fear that says nothing ever works out for you. Let go of the belief that you are cursed, forgotten, unlucky, or undeserving. Let go of the shame that makes you hide your story. Your story is powerful, not despite the pain, but because of it. God's glory shines best through broken places. And you, my beloved child, are going to be a living testimony. They'll look at you and see what survival looks like, what trust looks like, what grace looks like, what transformation looks like. You will not end how you started. You will not remain in this valley. You will not be defined by this season. You are moving forward, even if your feet are slow, even if your faith is small, even if your hands are trembling. Heaven honors your effort. Heaven counts your steps, and every step is bringing you closer to the promise. Don't give up, not now. Not after all you've overcome. Not when you're this close to breakthrough. Not when the chapter is just about to change. Comment. I will not give up if your soul is rising up in faith, even through tears. You are loved more than you know. You are surrounded more than you feel. You are carried more than you realize. And you are walking into more than you imagined. Trust this, the best chapters are often written after the hardest ones. The most beautiful stories rise out of the messiest beginnings. Life has a way of weaving tapestries from threads of pain, struggle, and uncertainty, creating patterns that only reveal their brilliance when viewed from a distance. The moments that feel like dead ends, like unresolvable conflicts in the narrative of your life, are often the very places where transformation begins. These are not the conclusions but the turning points, the hinges on which your story swings toward redemption, hope, and purpose. God doesn't write tragedies, He writes testimonies. Every tear you've shed, every sleepless night, every question that seemed to echo in the silence, none of it is wasted. Each fragment of your struggle is a piece of a larger mosaic, one that tells a story of resilience, faith, and divine orchestration. The author of your life is not haphazard. He doesn't scribble in the margins or leave loose ends untied. What feels like chaos to you is in His hands, a deliberate design, a narrative arc bending toward victory. Your story is not meant to end in despair, but to rise into a testament of grace, a living proof that even the darkest nights give way to dawn. So don't close the book. Don't let the weight of the moment convince you that the story ends here. The pages you're on now, the ones stained with doubt or marked by pain, are not the final ones. They are the bridge, the middle act, the tension that sets the stage for the miracle. Every great story has a moment where all seems lost, where the hero falters, where the odds seem insurmountable. But those are the moments that make the triumph sweeter, the moments that carve out space for the impossible to become reality. You're in the crucible of your own becoming, and the fire is refining you, not destroying you. Don't lose heart in the middle of the miracle. It's easy to grow weary when the promise feels distant, when the path is obscured by fog, when the steps forward feel like trudging through quicksand. But miracles are not always instantaneous. They are often slow, unfolding in increments, hidden in the mundane moments of persistence. The miracle is not just in the outcome, but in the courage it takes to keep going, to choose faith over fear, to trust when the evidence is scarce. You are living in the middle of a miracle right now, even if it doesn't yet look like one. The fact that you're still here, still breathing, still hoping, that is the miracle taking shape. Keep reading, keep believing, keep walking. The story is not finished, and neither are you. Each step you take, no matter how small, is a declaration that you trust the author's plan. Each prayer whispered, each moment of surrender, each choice to rise again after falling. These are the sentences that fill the pages of your testimony. Faith is not the absence of doubt but the decision to move forward despite it. It's the stubborn refusal to let the story end in defeat. It's the quiet resolve to turn the page, to see what happens next, to believe that the next chapter holds something worth waiting for. The plot twist is coming. In every great story there's a moment when the unexpected shifts everything. The impossible becomes possible. The broken is made whole. The lost is found. Your life is no exception. The God who parted seas, who raised the dead, who turned water into wine is still in the business of rewriting endings. What looks like a period is merely a comma in his grammar. The plot twist is not a matter of if but when. It's the moment when the pain you've carried becomes the strength you wield, when the ashes you've sat in become the foundation for something beautiful. Hold on for that twist because it's coming and it will take your breath away. The light is returning. Even now in the shadows slivers of light are breaking through. They may be faint at first. A kind word, a fleeting moment of peace, a spark of hope that refuses to be snuffed out. These are the harbingers of dawn, the signs that the night is not eternal. The darkness may have lingered, but it does not have the final word. The light of God's presence, His promises, His love, is weaving its way back into your story. You may not see the full sunrise yet, but the horizon is glowing and soon the warmth will touch your face again. The healing is unfolding. Healing is not always linear. It's not a straight path from broken to whole, from wounded to restored. It's a journey of layers of small victories and setbacks, of moments when you feel stronger and moments when you feel fragile again. But every step toward healing is a step toward wholeness. God is mending the torn places, stitching together the frayed edges of your heart, your mind, your spirit. He is not rushed. He is not impatient. He is working with precision, ensuring that every wound is tended. Every scar tells a story of survival. Trust the process even when it feels slow. The healing is happening even now. You've been waiting for something to change. Perhaps you've prayed for doors to open, for circumstances to shift, for the weight to lift. You've looked outward, hoping for the world to rearrange itself, for the obstacles to move, for the answers to appear. But heaven is whispering a different truth. You are the change. You are the shift. The transformation you've been longing for is not just in your circumstances but in you. God is shaping you into someone stronger, wiser, more compassionate, more resilient. The change you seek is already taking root within you, growing in the soil of your faith, your perseverance, your refusal to give up. You are becoming the answer to your own prayers. You are the one the next generation will point to and say, because they didn't give up, I kept going. Your story is not just for you. It's for those who will come after you. Those who will look to your life as proof that hope is worth holding on to. Your courage in the face of adversity, your faith in the midst of uncertainty, your decision to keep walking when the road was rough, these are the legacy you're leaving. You may not see it now, but your persistence is planting seeds. Your testimony will be a lighthouse for someone else lost in their own storm. You are writing a story that will echo beyond your lifetime, inspiring others to rise, to trust, to keep going. So rise, my beloved child, rise from the ashes of disappointment, from the weight of grief, from the fog of confusion. Rise not because it's easy but because it's necessary. Rise, not because you feel ready, but because you are called. Rise, not because you have all the answers, but because you trust the one who does. You are not defined by the chapters behind you but by the ones still being written. You are not bound by the pain of the past but freed by the promise of the future. Even if you rise slowly, there is no rush. God's timing is not your timing, and His pace is perfect. If your steps are tentative, if your strength feels small, that's okay. The act of rising is enough. Each small movement forward is a victory, a defiance of despair, a testament to your faith. You don't have to sprint, you don't have to leap, just rise one moment at a time, one moment at a time, choice at a time, one prayer at a time, even if you rise scared. Fear is not the opposite of faith, it's often the context in which faith grows strongest. You don't have to be fearless to move forward, you don't have to have all the answers to take the next step. Courage is not the absence of fear but the decision to act in spite of it. God is with you in your trembling, holding your hand, guiding your path. Rise, even if your heart is pounding, because He is your strength. Even if you rise alone, there may be moments when the road feels solitary, when the voices of encouragement are quiet, when the hands that once held you up are nowhere to be found, but you are never truly alone. God is with you, closer than your breath, more faithful than the sunrise. His presence is your companion, His promises your anchor, and even in the solitude, you are surrounded by a cloud of witnesses, those who have walked before you, whose stories of rising inspire your own. You are not alone, even when you feel you are. Just rise, that's all it takes. One decision to stand, to move, to trust. One moment of surrender to the story God is writing. One choice to believe that the next page holds hope. You don't need to know the whole plot. You don't need to see the final chapter. You just need to rise right here, right now in this moment. That's enough. Because God is still writing your story, and it's not over yet. The pen is still in His hand. The ink still flowing, the page is still turning. Your story is not a tragedy. Not a tale of defeat, but a testimony of triumph. It's a story of a God who redeems, who restores, who makes all things new. It's a story of a child who fell but rose again, who doubted but believed again, who stumbled but kept walking. It's a story that will end in glory, not because of your strength but because of His. If you felt this message deep in your spirit, let it take root. Let it anchor you in the truth that you are still here for a reason. Comment 1111 to declare, I'm still standing, I'm still trusting, I'm still believing. Let those numbers be a symbol of your resilience, a reminder that you are aligned with the divine rhythm of hope. Stand firm in the knowledge that your story is still unfolding, that the author is still at work, that the best is yet to come. Share this with someone who's in the middle of their chapter, someone who's wrestling with their own hard pages, who needs a reminder that their story isn't over. Pass this message to the weary, the broken, the ones who feel like giving up. Let them know that they are not alone, that their pain is not the end, that their miracle is still in progress. Be the voice that says, keep going. Your plot twist is coming. Declare in the comments, God is still writing my story. Say it out loud, write it down, let it echo in your heart. It's a proclamation of faith, a defiance of despair, a commitment to the journey. Your story is not finished. Your victory is not out of reach. Your God is not done with you. Keep reading, keep believing, keep believing. The light is returning, the healing is unfolding, and the plot twist is closer than you think.